we're kind of heading towards like a transhumanist society. So it's where humans are kind of becoming integrated now with technology. And I was wondering, from your perspective, how you would see the occult basically being integrated with society, with technology and humans going forward in the future.
Is that it for AI? You want me to answer for AI?
Yeah, sure, that's fine. AI is cool.
Yeah, so this AI system, make no mistake about it, people don't really get it. It's a demon. It is a demon. Yeah, all our technology connected, all this wiring, all this internet is demonic energy. And how can you tell? Is well, look how people use it, right? It's not used for good. Now, in the Bible, it says that the devil comes as an angel of light. You got to think of electricity here. That imagine all those external triggers you have, your depression, anxieties, all those, that anxiousness. Just ask yourself how much of that is triggered by your devices, phone, TV, whatever you're watching, what you're consuming. And you got to really ask yourself, in ancient times, how did they live? These guys were not stupid. They're building pyramids and stuff. In ancient times, it would be illegal for them to play certain music because they know it has this repetitive effect on the unconscious and it starts to dog walk you. You listen to Molly Percocet, and oh, it's just a song until you're at a party and you see Molly and Percocet and you go, oh, Future's doing it, then you do it. Same with these devices. AI, however, AI is the World Economic Forum's final push. This is their final push at this transhumanist agenda to put everyone in a computer chip, right? And what this really is soul entrapment, right? That if they can get a part of your mind, like there's a bunch of people even on our side who says they would actually accept the Neuralink because teamed up with some AI, you could be superhuman, you could do this, you could do that. And it's like, that's the scary part is nobody realizes that whether left or right, they're both kind of down to upgrade with a Neuralink. Now, everyone upgraded with, let's say, an iPhone, right? And everyone's a slave to that buzzing sound. Every time it buzzes, you just get an anxious, oh my God, because most people don't leave it on do not disturb. They're pussies, right? I could have made millions more dollars if I answered more of these calls, but no, I choose to live my life on do not disturb. I work on my time. Now, check this out. The scary thing about AI is nobody understands that it will make your life so much fucking easier. Well, especially when they develop it more, it's going to make our lives so much easier. And you got to ask yourself, if we're already lazy with the Uber Eats and all this and the iPhone, are we going to accept it? The answer is 100% you can't run from this. There might be a few people who saved up $1 million and live in the woods or they go to a farm or whatever, but you're going to see that if you even want to fight the elites, you're going to want to use their AI to fight them, and that's how they get you. This is their final push, but I'm telling you this is a long ways away. It's such bullshit that a lot of people are saying like in the next 5, in the next 10 years, it's going to be totally AI run society. No, that's not how it works. This is way, way down the road. But I got to ask you now, okay? You're open to stuff. You've been watching this kind of content for years. Would you take the Neuralink?
Not at all. I think that it's a trap, right? Because I think if we were to connect human beings to a system, then you have to really ask yourself who controls the system. I mean, if you have Neuralink and let's say they can just like upload things into your mind quite literally, whether that be images or just even emotions, it's just essentially like another way of control. But I did want to ask you a follow-up. I wanted to see what your perspective is because I do agree with you. I do think like, let's say super intelligence maybe 30, 40, 50 years out from now. Who knows? As time goes on, technology grows faster and faster. And if you have AI helping, it can also speed that up as well. Do you think that there might be like a correlation between, let's say, super intelligence, right? Where singularity, it has its own kind of like personality to correlate it to, let's say, like the Antichrist in the sense that, God created us in his image, right? And then we're essentially creating AI in our image. So in a lot of senses, it's just kind of like the opposite, like as above, so below kind of thing. And you're talking about like a whole network, the whole world is on, and potentially even humans are connected to as well. They basically have the keys to all of that, and it's an all-powerful system. Yeah, so basically, just like you said earlier, the internet, right? It's filled with evil, it's filled with human device, all of these negative things that we post on the internet, and all of those things end up feeding the AI. Well, from, 10, 20, 30 years, who knows? Because I personally think we're heading into like a world war scenario. If we're heading into a world war scenario and countries are fighting each other, massive amounts of death, all of these things will eventually even get fed into the AI itself. So at some point, let's say, society is recovering from this thing. AI is an integral part of society, and it's helping move society along as well. In a lot of ways, it'll be looked at as, our own God to a lot of people who are like atheists, who don't believe in God, who already think technology is their God anyways, oftentimes when the way they talk about like science and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So in a sense, like we're creating something that's in our image. We're in God's image. It's the inverse of God. It's the God on earth. And we're connecting everything to it. And it has the power, the way we look at, let's say, like the military, the drones, right? They're creating jets that don't even need fighter pilots anymore, right? So it's like now everything's controlled digitally, wirelessly. And I mean, you can extrapolate that to everything, our cars, everything. And
Yeah.
eventually, like Neuralink, humans will be connected to it as
Yeah.
well.
The scary one is like in China, they have those mini drones that hover in front of balconies. Now, those things equipped with like a missile can fuck you up. But why I give the white pill on AI, and I think I'm not that pessimistic about it, is really it's not just faith in my creator. It's when you ask a scientist, and scientists like to pretend they're all knowing and all that, but you could just ask any scientist, do you think we'll ever have the human technology to replicate the human iris? Now, a lot of stupid motherfuckers say, we already do that with an HD camera and an infrared camera. No, no, no. An organic eyeball that can capture reality will never be recreated. Technology will always be second to man. I'm not that pessimistic about that. And for the World War stuff you just mentioned, we are in the Third World War. It's happening. However, a lot of people think it's going to happen like Russia invades us and blah, blah, blah. That's not how it works, dude. In today's day and age, the war happens from within. And it's been happening for 20, 30 years. Ideological subversion. Yuri Bezmenov would talk about it before the KGB defector that got killed. And really, it's going to happen from within. So a lot of people don't understand, like, what do you think the riots were a couple of years ago? Like that, those cities look like they're in war, right? So for America, it's going to happen from within, just like it happened with Rome. And the beautiful thing is, when everything is settled, when everything's destroyed, then we will have Nick come in and be president. But yeah, I'm pretty optimistic about that kind of stuff. Like, I don't think AI is going to be the biggest issue. Now, OnlyFans and that sketch problem, that sketch guy and all that, that stuff is, I really worry about Zoomers, because like when Zoomers tell me, they're like, what, they just got out of high school and they're like bombarded with all these images and softcore everything. I think the Zoomers are fuck. So I think that war is going to come from the Zoomers, right? From the inside. Like we're going to see a bunch of riots and stuff like that well, starting this year. And really, it's to address nihilism, right? So there's a lot of like tankies and all that who like want to solve it with communism, or people want to solve it with politics. No, you can only solve a decaying society's issues by leading them to Jesus Christ. And that's what this podcast is about. Thank you for your input. You want to shout yourself out?
My name is Theurgy. You guys can drop me a follow. And I'll definitely come through next time you have one of these. It's really cool
Hell
that you're
yeah.
doing this, bro.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
we really like reoccurring guests. Appreciate you.